Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fastenal Winter Series for race number 2 at Five Flags Speedway here. It's Tuesday night, and we're glad to have everybody watching here on V-Speed Racing Network for what is going to be a great race here in the late model stocks here at Five Flags. Some short track racing, and last week was awesome as Alex Coffey leads every lap of his heat, leads every lap of the feature, and takes home the victory. Who is going to knock him off his pedestal tonight? We'll see. Alex looked really, really strong, but I want to see if some guys like Stephen Harlow, some guys, Alex Huffman, Mikey Neal, can kind of rebound after last week and get something done. I want to thank all of our sponsors, of course, MPI, for sponsoring the whole Xfinity series. Simrat Market. SimRatMarket.com. Go check them out if you need a really awesome wrap. You'll see them on the 27 car of Shane Wyatt here tonight, so definitely go check them out in Martin Sports. Well, Chuck, I got my main man, Chuck, on the mic here tonight. Chuck, how are we feeling about some short track racing here on Tuesday night?
First and foremost, thanks, Eddie, for letting me be a guest broadcaster with you. Thanks for being MPI, as Eddie said. But, yeah, short track racing, gotta love it, especially in this car. A lot of talent in the field for sure, but not necessarily a lot of experience in this car, even with the talent. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
All right, well, let's take a look at the track information. Five Flags Speedway from Pensacola, Florida, opened in 1953, and it's home of the legendary Snowball Derby. Half a mile, but a lot of fun, really fast. Should be put on some great racing here tonight, and we're definitely looking forward to that. Now, I do want to talk to some drivers before we get into the heats, before the heats get going, so I'm going to pull in, we're going to talk to somebody here tonight, Dusty Applin. Going to have him up in the booth. Dusty, you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, man, last week was an awesome race for you as you were able to move that 69 car up through the field and then kind of had some issues towards the end, didn't maybe get the finish that you wanted. But what are we feeling about tonight here at Five Flags? You're starting deep in the field in these heats, but you get to race your way up and try to get a better starting spot. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, got the Hooters paint scheme out here.
Uh-oh. Well, it looks like we lost Dusty. I don't know if there's something going on, but we'll maybe try to catch up with him later. But we definitely appreciate him making himself available to us. And so something must be wrong with his camera. I don't know. It might have been our fault. It may be on our end. But anyway, we'll try to get him back in here. Let's try one more time. Let's see. Dusty, you got a copy?
I got you.
Okay. Sorry, man. I don't know what happened there, but you kind of started cutting out. And so go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. It's home track. So hopefully we can get this Hooters car to the victory lane tonight and put on a good show.
All right. Well, man, thank you so much for making time for us. Sorry about it if it was our fault. And good luck tonight, brother. Well, there you have it. Dusty Applin with a pretty confident feel here tonight. And I'm not really sure what room he was in, but I'm going to move him somewhere and he can move himself. But Chuck, I mean, short track racing, we got a couple heats we're going to do here tonight as we'll take a look at the race analysis of late model stocks, fixed setup, 20-lap heats, and 125-lap feature for tonight. And going to be a fun one. We had a good one last week. A lot of, pretty messy as guys were trying to get this all figured out. But you'll see there you got 2 tire sets. One to start with, you can go in there and change it one time. So if these guys start to wear them out. But I think you want to make sure that you're saving the tires the best that you can. All right, well, let's get into the grid for the first heat. We'll take a look at who we got starting here. We've got 11 cars in this heat. Alex Coffey, Kyle Benson, Alex Huffman, Adam Lancaster, Shane Wyatt, Christopher Bishop, Johnny Shade, my favorite name in the field, Parker Bland, and starting in ninth, Tony Kivitt. 10th, there's going to be Matthew Jorgensen and Eric Schaefer. I think he got disconnected, and he is going to be starting in the back of this thing. Be watching out for him to come up through the field for sure as they're getting gridded up here on the front stretch. So, Chuck, what is your thoughts on what you need to do here in the heat? Now, the heat does set the grid for the feature, So if you're starting in the back, maybe your qualifying attempt wasn't good. It gives you an opportunity to maybe improve upon that. But what are you trying to do here in these heat races to prepare for that feature?
Well, in my experience, that doesn't make it right. I think it kind of depends, Eddie, where you're starting at. If you're one of the top, you know, 2, 3, maybe 4, you may not care about winning. You just want to almost maintain a starting spot. But if you're starting deep in the field on these heat races, you obviously are going to want to be aggressive, especially because it's limited laps. So you're going to be aggressive. So in my opinion, I think you got two different mindsets there. Guys just sort of being content where they're at if they're up front, but guys in the rear going hard and fast.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to get practicing on how the car is feeling. You've been out there practicing for about an hour, but now you get to try it in race conditions, to try different lines, see what's fast, what's not, and try to work that out here in the heat, because the feature, you know, it's possible these things go green. I know it's not likely that we go green all the way through the feature, but I've seen it happen, and if you're not ready to go once a green flag drops in that feature race, you could find yourself behind the 8 ball and not be able to get it back. So yeah, going to be interesting to see who comes from the back, maybe improves on their position, and you know, who maybe is struggling here a little bit early. But I know that car on the front, Alex Coffey, man, he is going to be the one to watch tonight. Last week, it's just a dominant performance he had, as he just really took everybody to class. So I'm excited to see who can kind of step up to the plate and you know, kind of give him a run for his money here. But all right, coming down into turn 3 and 4, pace car should pull off here. We're going to go green flag racing. So Chuck, we're ready. We're going to have 25 laps to, I believe, 20 laps here tonight. Green flag is out.
Wow, there's already some good races side by side mid-pack.
Yeah, out front, Alex Coffey with a great jump. You saw that early jump there on the start. That's sort of a short track thing. As soon as the pace car goes, man, you take off and roll with it. As you see, Kyle Benson there in the third position tried to do a little crossover on Alex Huffman, who was able to take over that second spot here early and set his sights on Alex Coffey. Alex was, well, you got two Alexes. Alex Huffman was really, really fast last week. You saw how aggressive he was driving into the corners and really pushing that car to the limits. We'll see if he can do the same tonight. Five Flags is such a fun track. Look how fast, and the bankings, you know, kind of gives you a little hug as you go down in the corner, sort of like Richmond does, so you can really maintain a lot of speed. And I think it really kind of fits into the skill set of these guys who run short track similar to this on the NASCAR circuit.
Totally agree. There is another aspect on heat versus feature, though. These are only 20-lap heat races, so you can run hard and fast, almost quote-unquote quali laps, but you can't do that when you get to the feature. You're going to definitely have to do some tire management in the feature, so there will be a mindset change from the heat versus the feature for sure.
Yeah, looking here at Christopher Bishop in the 7th position, looking down to the inside of Johnny Shade, who was up there battling for the lead last week. Expecting to see him up there, but you see Shade get a little bit loose as Christopher Bishop trying to get down to the inside. He is going to get there, and now he's going to get position here on Shade, but Shade gets a great drive off of the top side, and he's going to defend hard here. As you know, this is a starting position, so they're going to be running side by side, and you see those yellow stripes. I mean, this is a winter series here in MPI. The Fastenal. Oh, Shade's going to get loose. They're going to make contact and a wreck on the front stretch as Johnny Shade and Christopher Bishop come together, as Shade gets a little bit loose off the corner, gasses it up a little bit too much, and Johnny Shade he's blown up. He'll have to go get a fast repair. You see that smoke billowing out the back end of that car, and you know, we were just talking about it. These guys fighting for these positions, and Johnny Shade really was trying to fight there on that outside, and unfortunately, they make contact. Let's go back and look at that on the replay. And we'll be on board with Johnny Shade right here. They're coming off the corner. They're racing side by side, and you can see Johnny gets that right rear, steps out a little bit, going to grab the right rear quarter panel of the 14 and the 7. Tony Kivitt nowhere to go, along with the 4 of Eric Schaefer. So just a big, massive wreck. You see the 3 of Parker Bland just scoot right on through that. Let's go back and watch it from his perspective. If we have enough time, we'll see. Yeah, we still do. So we'll go back and look at Parker Bland's. On board, Parker Bland is, they're about to make contact. Let's watch just 3 navigate through this wreck. My goodness, Chuck, what a great drive that was. That was incredible.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch the car number. I'm still trying to manipulate my own cameras here, but there's great driver and wreck avoidance on the black and orange car near the back that did a great job of avoiding that.
And might be talking about Matthew Jorgensen. So go back and we'll check that maybe in a little bit if we get another caution. But right now we're doubled up and going to get ready to go green as Alex Coffey still has the top spot. We'll see if anybody can get up there and challenge him. I think it's going to be difficult. Only 10 laps to go. Now in the heats, the caution laps do not matter. In the feature, they will. So they don't count right now. So if we keep getting cautions, they'll just revert back to the last lap and go back. So want to make sure that you get a position and you keep it at least for a lap. Oh my goodness, as the 2 of Alex Huffman does not get a great jump, and that's going to open the door for Kyle Benson to take over that 2nd spot. And you see, I mean, just mistakes like that can make a difference as passing seems to be at a premium. Guys are working hard. You see Shane Wyatt there trying to hold off Matthew Jorgensen. He's able to do it on that outside. But now Alex Huffman all over the back bumper of the 70 machine here as he's trying to retake that 2nd position. Looks down to the inside. You see they're taking a pretty big arc into the corner. Look how close the 2 is to the bumper of that 70 machine. Now he's going to dive down to the inside. Can he make the move? Seems like the top side has a lot of momentum and definitely works. Will that be the case later on in the race, or is that an early race thing? As these 2 battle side by side, you can see Adam Lancaster right behind him in that 17 machine. He was also fast last week. So a lot of guys to be watching out for tonight, going to be making a big push towards the front. Right now, Adam nowhere to go as he's waiting for these guys to sort of settle this thing out. And here comes Shane Wyatt to the picture. Adam going to get a little bit loose off the corner. These guys are getting squirrely as they're putting that loud pedal down just a little bit harder towards the end of this heat there, Chuck.
Oh yeah, you know, those guys in the 2nd heat there are definitely watching this to see what groove is working and what isn't, especially on the restart.
Yeah, that's a great point. Being able to sit and watch as the other heat takes the track, and you can kind of, like you said, just kind of go over and see what they're doing and try to emulate that for that 2nd heat. That's a great point, man. But these cars are some of the most fun, I think. Just a lot of fun. Short track racing is tough because it's so hard to make the passes on folks, especially when the races are just not that long. You just don't have a whole lot of time to spend, you know, to work over somebody for a few laps and get around them. We've seen Alex Huffman be able to make that pass because he really charges the corner. So we'll see who can be able to, you know, try to make some moves right now. Your biggest mover is Eric Schaefer there at the back of this little 4-car pack. He's been able to, after that accident, get up towards the front. And I tell you, man, I know Eric Schaefer. He is somebody that knows how to get around short track.
Absolutely. And to your point, too, as far as racing, I mean, I'm a little partial to the tour mods, but this late model is my 2nd favorite car on the server. And nothing like this car and short track combo. It's just good old-fashioned racing. You get on it and you go, and some door banging and finesse as well. I mean, you got to worry about throttle and brake control and tire management in the future, but it's just great racing for sure.
Yeah, I mean, people really always make contact here. Shane Wyatt, the 4 of Eric Schaefer. Eric Schaefer punching the air as, man, he's just been involved in every wreck here. And, well, the checkered flag is out. Alex Coffey is going to win the race. So I don't know if I maybe just missed the fact that we were going white flag. That may be our fault. But Alex Coffey going to win the first heat as we get ready for heat number 2 here tonight. We're going to jump right in it, and we're going to give you that grid. So I think that wreck might have been just after the race is over with. All right, you can see the field right there. Stephen Harlow, who, man, was really fast last week and then just kept running into trouble. And so see if he can kind of improve on that. But you got Jonathan Cofield in the 2nd position, Mikey Neal in the 3rd. 4th is going to be Jesse Necula. 5th is going to be Sam Green. 6th, Charles Stevens Jr. 7th is Timothy Stubblefield. Craig Lautenschlager in the 8th position. And Dusty Applin, we talked to him earlier, in the night with Jason Hastings. Going to round out the top 10 for this heat. Well, I mean, I don't know if we really learned anything about what to expect in the feature other than the fact that, Alex Coffey is going to be tough to beat here, Chuck.
No, absolutely. As I spoke about earlier, though, and I'll be the devil's advocate, there's definitely some serious talent in this MPI Winter Series for sure. But there's also maybe some very talented guys that don't have a lot of experience short track racing on this car. So that combo alone could be a potential equalizer, if that makes sense.
No, I agree 100%. They're going to get 1 lap to green here, a little bit of time to get themselves sorted out. And honestly, if I was honest, it's for us. It's so we have time to run our mouths and talk about stuff. So give them another lap. We definitely appreciate Race Control looking out for us. That way we can say what we need to say and get all our stuff in. But, yeah, I'm looking to see what Stephen Harlow, Jonathan Cofield barely even got to race last week. So, yeah, interested to see what he could do in this late model. But here we go. Ace car going to pull off. Barney's going to have the green flag in hand as the sun's setting here on 5 flags, and Stephen Harlow gets out to an early jump.
That was a good start on Harlow for sure. He timed that one right.
Yeah, gets a great jump as the battling is going on back here. It is a mess. As you see the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield with Charles Stevens there on the outside. Charles Stevens going to get a fantastic run, and he is going to take over that 6th position. I think Charles Stevens driving the Apex Sim Racing gear, number 9 Chevrolet, and he is working that bottom. You see he's being patient on the throttle, gets a great run. He's not charging the corners like some of these guys, so seems to be pretty settled in here early. But I think the battle is going to definitely start picking up here up front as the 58 falls back a spot off that restart, and Mikey Neal able to take over the 2nd position. Man, we talked to Mikey early last week, and he was definitely feeling confident, got caught up in some stuff, and really never got a chance to do anything with it. But right now, look at him. He's all over the back bumper of Stephen Harlow.
Well, to me, it looks like the 58 is kind of biding his time. You don't have a lot of time, but he's right there. I think the 58 is just slightly waiting to seeing what the 2 front runners are going to do. And he might just be patiently stalking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, looking at Mikey Neal's webcam, it kind of looks like he's sitting in a lawn chair. I love that. My man's sitting on a wireframe chair, and you can see a whole lot of, there's body roll in these late models. There's a lot of body roll in that chair right there. See, he's leaning. He's about to fall out the chair trying to run down Stephen Harlow. As Mikey Neal actually blinks out a little bit. Jonathan Cofield now all over the back bumper. Excuse me. As you see Jonathan Cofield right there. Cofield Supply and Services looking down to the inside as Mikey really struggling to get off the corners, trying to be aggressive with that car. You see just how much movement his wheel is having.
Yeah, I think Cofield, well, his front end got a little loose there, but I think Cofield's just kind of biding his time, in my opinion, there. But he did get a little loose there, the front end on entry on that last lap. Let's see if he gathers it back up.
Yeah, so he's going to have a little bit of breathing room, but right now, I mean, the most breathing room is right here. Stephen Harlow, but Mikey Neal is starting to close back down the last couple laps. He's been running very similar lap times. So Stephen Harlow, I mean, you know, he was definitely feeling a little disappointed at the end of the race. Felt like he wanted a better showing. I think he feels like this is his bread and butter here. I mean, he was a great racer in the Xfinity car, but you know, I think this is where he feels like he is at his best. And so right now he's doing a great job, but Mikey Neal sort of having a resurgence after kind of holding off. Jonathan Cofield is starting to push that 5 machine here with just 7 laps to go.
Farther back in the pack, Charlie Stevens been battling with the 91. He's got position, and he's on the inside of the 91. Sam Green, I believe the name is. They bang a little bit. Charlie backs off. But he's still fighting. Got a good battle going on there, Eddie.
Oh my goodness! Mikey Neal gets loose up front. He's going to lose a couple spots, or just one, but he might lose one here to Jesse Necula, who's going to get down to the inside. So Mikey really being aggressive on those tires, kind of like what you talked about, Chuck. But it was a razor's edge, and he gets loose off the corner, and now having to reset. Now Jesse Necula down to the inside. Mikey, though, going to continue to try to push, but that right rear is probably not happy. We got side-by-side battling for 3rd and 4th, and then also side-by-side battling, like you said, for 5th and 6th is Charles Stevens, able to take over that top 5 spot.
Yeah, they've been battling for 3-4 laps there. Charlie finally did a slide job. It's a great battle, clean by both drivers.
Yeah, for sure. Another one of those clean battles still happening up here for the 3rd position with 4 laps to go. Stephen Harlow out to a half a second lead over Jonathan Cofield as Necula still working that bottom, but man, impressive stuff by Mikey Neal, not wanting to give up that position. That top side looks really, really strong with the right driver in it. And is he going to be able to clear him? Not quite. Jesse Necula tries to fill that gap, but Neal's going to hold on to it as Charles Stevens gets loose, and that's going to open the door for Sam Green to maybe try to go to the outside. No, he's going to try to do a crossover. He gets down to the inside. We'll be able to get enough power down on the inside. He does. So here's this 91 coming back to battle the 9 as they come off the corner sideways. Final lap. White flag is out here in this heat.
Oh, this is a great battle between the 9 and the 91.
Well, while this battle is happening, Stephen Harlow is going to take the checkered flag. And then right here, this battle to the line, and Charles Stevens is going to take.
Got it.
Yeah,
Charlie
he does. He gets the 5th position. So that's one. That's basically maybe one row better there in the feature. Excuse me, having a heart attack.
No,
well, I'll tell you what.
Let's
talk to some of these drivers while we have some time, and we'll talk to both heat winners and see what their thoughts are tonight. I will see if we got Alex Coffey would do. Let's get Alex into the booth. Alex Coffey, this is Eddie and Chuck in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, last week you led 140 laps, every lap in your heat, every lap in the feature. Tonight, you're going to try to continue that trend as you've led every lap in your heat tonight so far. You're going to start up front. How's that car feeling here tonight at Five Flags?
Feels pretty good. I don't know how the track's going to change with the temperature, but I have a good idea of what it's going to do, but you never know. Just hopefully we can stay out of trouble. I'm sure tires are going to be more important here than last week.
All right. Well, good luck to you tonight. Congratulations on that heat win.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, let's bring in our second heat winner. That's Stephen Harlow. And let's bring him in here and talk to him. Chuck, you want to give him the old interview?
Sure.
Well, I got to find him first. Where is he? There he is. Get him down into the booth. And Chuck caught up with Stephen Harlow.
Hey, Stephen, Chuck and Eddie in the booth. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Well, nice start there on that heat win. You had a great jump on the initial start. What's your mindset in the heats? Obviously, you was out front the whole time, but let's say you did drop to second or third. When you're up front like that, are you content with that being a heat race to stay where you're at, or do you go for it like it was the feature? What's your mindset when you're running the heats?
I mean, in the heat, at least starting from the front, it's really just a maintain kind of idea. I was talking to Parker actually while we were watching the first heat, and I was like, well, I mean, the heat's set each row, so if you get one spot in the heat, you move up 2 spots in the grid. So I feel like if I was farther back, I would try to maximize and get as much as I could without killing anybody. But, you know, starting from the front of the heat, it's definitely just kind of stay where I'm at, stay smart, don't wreck anything. I think it was Mikey that got a little loose kind of halfway through, worked too much heat into his right rear. I was just trying to stay away from doing that.
Well, you got it. Congrats on the heat wins. So good luck in the feature, brother. And
Awesome.
hope you have a great race.
Thank you so much. I hope to talk to you again.
Well, there you have it. Your 2 heat winners, Alex Coffey and Stephen Harlow. And, man, I think from the racing that we saw so far, Chuck, I think we're going to see some awesome side-by-side racing here tonight. It seems like it's tough to make that pass. You know, a lot of these short tracks, you get down at the bottom. Once you get the bottom, you're good. But, man, here at Five Flags, seems like that top side, you can really try to hang on. You know, you have to push the car a little bit harder, but we saw that with Mikey Neal getting a little bit loose. You know, these guys are really, you know, putting the pressure on that right rear. They're asking a lot of that tire, and we'll see who can keep the tires under them. 125 laps is a long time, and so you want to make sure you save those, especially for the end of the race where you plan on making any kind of passes. So, Chuck, it looks like we're going to have a pretty fun little feature race here.
Oh, absolutely. And one more time, I love this track or style track. You know, last week and this week and going further in this part of the Winter Series, this track and car combo is amazing. It's not just all outdoor banging. There's definitely still a finesse as far as brake and throttle and tire saving or tire management or whatever, but you also can't be too passive. You have to get on it because it is a relatively short race with the track size. So, yeah, I love this track car combo, and I'm excited. We have already seen that in the couple of heats here. There's some great side-by-side battles, and yeah, I can't wait to see what transpires.
Yeah, normally in a lot of the short track leagues that folks race in, you don't get an extra set of tires. You have to run the whole race on one set, which really makes you really focus on that tire wear. But here in the Winter Series, Fastenal Winter Series, you get that extra set if you need it. So if you spin out or you have some tough trouble towards the end of the race, you can come down and get 4 tires. I mean, you'll lose a lot of track position, but at the right moment, you might find those 4 tires being a blessing. But here we go, getting ready to grid up for the feature. So we're going to jump right in to the grid here. Starting on the front row, your 2 heat winners, Alex Coffey and Stephen Harlow. Row number 2 is Kyle Benson and Jonathan Cofield. Alex Huffman in 5th. I don't know. I think this is all wrong again. I don't know why this grid keeps messing up. It just does not. It does not love the whole heat race stuff. So we'll just go from the top. Alex Huffman going to be in 3rd. Jonathan Cofield in 4th. Kyle Benson in 5th. Mikey Neal in 6th. 7th is going to be Adam Lancaster. 8th is going to be Jesse Necula. And 9th is Matthew Jorgensen. 10th, Charles Stevens Jr. 11th, Parker Bland. 12th, Sam Green. 13th, Tony Kivett. 14th, Dusty Applin. 15th is going to be Shane Wyatt. Craig Lutenslager. I was worried about his last name so much, Chuck, that I messed up his first name, the easiest part. 17th is Eric Schaefer. Be watching out for him. 18th is Timothy Stubblefield. 19th, Christopher Bishop. 20th, Jason Hastings. And Johnny Shade going to start. Everybody's favorite Mortal Kombat character going to start in the 21st position.
Well, I made butcher this myself, but I think it's called Craig Lautenschlager, maybe?
No, it's Lautenschlager.
It is Slager. Okay.
Yeah, we confirmed that last week. It's Lautenschlager.
Okay. My
Yeah,
bad,
we
Craig.
thought that
I was
too.
trying. Okay, I missed last week. My bad,
Yeah.
Craig. No disrespect, sir.
You didn't read the notes, did you? You didn't do the pre-race. You didn't read the pre-race notes, did you?
No, I have my notes. The only notes I have is no politics and no profanity. So far, so good, right?
So good. So far, so good. Well, all right, with these guys getting ready to roll, I think we're going to see a little extra level of intensity. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. We got some guys coming from the back that are really, really good, and I think it's going to be exciting. Caution flags do matter here in this, so they'll count in the heat races. It didn't count towards the lap totals, but now it does. So what that means to me is we have a lot of cautions. Every position is going to matter because, if you run under caution, you can't pass under caution, Chuck. At least they frown upon it.
Yes,
Getting
they
ready
do.
to go green here as I think the pace car is pulling off the track here. I think we're going to go green this time by. There it is.
Yep,
pace car is off. Yep, green flag is out. Barney is waving that green flag, and Stephen Harlow gets a great restart here in the feature.
Wow, he fired up, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he nailed it. I mean, that's about as good as you can get. Now, the leader doesn't have as much of an advantage early on in the initial start. And you see Stephen Harlow getting passed by Alex Huffman, and I think he's just going to try to fall in behind Huffman before it gets too bad and other cars kind of get up there and keep him on that outside line. We'll see if that outside line becomes more prevalent as the tires move on, but it seems like everybody wants to be at the bottom here early on. As you see, a single file all the way back to about 12th place. But Stephen Harlow already looking to jump on the attack. He's trying to get around Alex Huffman. These two raced together in the Xfinity Series last season, and they were championship favorites all throughout. I mean, just some incredible drivers, and Alex Huffman ultimately taking home that crown, and definitely deserved, as he was one of the best drivers all season long. And so it's good. It's good when the best driver that puts together a really great season also wins the championship in a playoff type format. And so Alex Huffman is your champion from last season. So he'll be defending it as we get into the actual MPI Xfinity Series again. But right now he's doing a great job in these late models, currently trying to track down Alex Coffey, and he is getting really, really close as he's going to look down to the inside here. We'll see if he gets to position.
Well, something I've noticed, Eddie, now I don't know if it's track state change between sessions or if the aggression level amped up, but I have noticed some rear ends being a lot more loose than they were in the heat races. So I'm not sure what that is about.
Well, I can always count on you, Chuck, to keep tabs on the rear ends. That's for sure. All right, we're looking at the.
Thank you very much, Eddie.
The 58, Jonathan Cofield now looking down to the inside of Kyle Benson. Kyle's going to cover that entry. Jonathan not quite there. You can see Alex was able to get up to the bumper of Alex Coffey. Alex Huffman was, but you see, just not able to get the power down just yet. I think these guys are going to be a little bit nervous of putting the throttle down too soon to try to make a pass, as we talked about there before the race. I mean, the tire wear is going to be hugely important, and you want to keep those rear tires under you. As Adam Lancaster now getting passed by the one of Mikey Neal, and here comes Matthew Jorgensen. Matthew Jorgensen last week, impressive. He was up on the front row on a couple of those restarts, had an issue towards the end, but Matthew, I'm not sure if it was surprising, but it was good to see him be really, really competitive with these guys.
Yeah, Matt was definitely competitive last week. I don't want to underrate him at all by any means. I think he's had some bad luck last season. whatever. But he definitely showed his presence last week for sure.
What would you call this camera angle here, Chuck? Is he's trying to get extra speed by going downhill, I think.
I can't see your camera angle, Eddie, so I can't.
You don't see his camera on the driver cam there on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, your screen, what you're showing to me is blank.
Okay, all right, 10-4. Well, if you're seeing it on the broadcast, it looks like he's going downhill. So gravity, no match for Matthew Jorgensen. Up front, though, it is still a battle between the Alexes. Huffman all over the back bumper. Just not quite able to get there. I mean, I can't tell if Alex is really trying to get around Coffey or if he's just trying to be patient. I mean, running second is fine, especially if it's going to be tough to pass. You're going to have to burn yourself up to do it. So you might just ride behind the guy. I mean, that happens in all forms of racing. As long as you keep tabs, just kind of throw a hook on his rear bumper and let him pull you around the track. So that might be what Huffman's doing, or he might be pushing, and Coffey might just be sandbagging a little bit. It's hard to really say.
Right, I agree, especially with, yes, we have tires, but unless you're in a wreck and you spin out and you burn them up or whatever, this is sort of, I think some guys might be just, again, biding their time, like Cofield. He's just, to me, it looks like, I'm not saying he is, it looks like he's just riding, like letting the car in front of him know, like, hey, I'm here, but I'm good to just ride right now. That makes sense. Oh, yeah, we have a spin. Have a spin. Looks like Charlie Stevens, the 9, the 23 is in there. I can't see the other car number.
It looks like Christopher Bishop was the other
14.
one in the 14.
Yep.
So our first caution is he's pulling back up on the track in front of the leaders. Almost some big contact there, as I don't see any big damage out of these guys, but the first caution of the night here on lap 20. We'll try to go back and see exactly what happened between these drivers, and it looks like it was the 9 and I think the 69 of Dusty Applin, as we'll go back and check it here on the replay. See him come off the quarter, and Charles Stevens just gets loose there. I don't think any contact was made. We'll go back and look at it, but yeah, he makes a little bit of contact. Let's go back and check. Go back and watch it. Go back a little bit further. And we'll watch here from the rear end camera of that's Chuck's favorite shot from Charles Stevens Jr. We'll see if any contact was made. You can see Dusty was really putting a lot of pressure on him, but I think Charles may have just stood on it a little bit too much. We'll see. Yeah, I don't see any contact, honestly. It looks like it was just one of those things where Charles felt that pressure and unfortunately gassed it up just a little bit too much. We'll watch it one more time from a different camera angle. We'll try
I agree. And I see your camera again, by the way, but I agree with your assessment.
I mean, it might be a little bit of net code, but as far as contact goes, if that was contact at all, that is the slightest amount of contact. I think it's either net code or Charles Stevens just got a little bit loose.
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to speak for Charlie. He might have been on corner entry because, you know, you're a racer. When you're in the heat of the moment, he might have done a quick glance in his mirror to see where the car behind him was at and missed his mark just ever so slightly. But short track with this car, a slight miscalculation, that can happen. So I don't think there was any foul on anybody. I would say the proverbial, hey, it was a racing incident. I know everybody hates that, but in my opinion, I think it was just, I would not put blame on one driver or the other, in my opinion.
10-4. Look at Johnny Shade here in that 23. And it's hard to see, but he is crab walking really bad in that 23 car. It is real, real bad. As he's having some major, major issues. As we try to get a camera angle that we can actually see it. But you can see he ain't going straight. But green flag is out, though. Is Alex Coffey going to get a great jump on the restart? And Stephen Harlow and Alex Huffman are going to be battling side by side. Alex in trouble a little bit as now Kyle Benson looking to the inside, trying to gain some spots on the restarts. That's a big, big place to do it. Now, you might be wondering, you sure there's a lot of pink cars out here tonight? So just wanted to kind of highlight that. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so a lot of these guys having some paint schemes to try to, be a part of that movement, just to have awareness, keep it up for all those that we lose. As the 70 gets contact, though, and we got a big wreck here. Matthew Jorgensen involved and others. Somebody's upside down. Who the heck is that?
Is that Necula? Is that the 99? Is that Necula?
I think you're right. It was Necula. So Necula goes around. We have our other caution. Man, we had some really great heat races, but here on lap 28, already 2 cautions is the number 3 Parker Bland in the middle of the track. I want to take you a look here and see what Johnny Shade is dealing with. Look how bad that car is crab walking. I mean, that is about as bad as it gets. That looks like it is a nightmare to try to drive that thing. We'll go back and see if we can find out what happened in that wreck, as that was a big, big mess. And it all started with Cofield and Kyle Benson. And I think Cofield is going to make a little bit of contact with Benson as they go down into the corner. See, that little tap right there was all that it took. And he goes around.
Well, you know what, Eddie? Sometimes short track and also plate racing, not so much on the miles and the mile and a half, but sometimes there could be a checkup in short track or plate racing that happens up front, but the wreck happens behind them. Even though, like, the checkup is what caused it. Even though the people that check up or whatever don't cause the wreck, it's that the accordion effect or the chain reaction that happens behind them.
Let's watch this look here on Jesse Necula as, man, they're piling in here. Just goes upside down. My goodness. As you can see the pile up as they're all checking up for the wreck as it happens right in front of them. Watch this. Gonna see the contact right there. And then as the 70's going around, everybody trying to check up. Jorgensen gets hit from behind, and then it's just a chain reaction as Necula runs over him, and then the 27 of Shane White barely gets into him, and then the 3 comes rolling in as Necula's going to hit this wall here and just flip right over.
Yeah, I never expected a rollover at a short track, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that really hurt some drivers' chances to win this race. Necula being one of them, he has to tow. They do have a fast repair, I believe. I can go check that. I'm not real sure.
I'll check it for you.
No, they don't. They do not have a fast repair. So I don't know if I said they did at the beginning, but they definitely don't. And so Jesse Necula out of this thing. Parker Bland is going to be a couple laps down after staying a minute with damage. Then you got Christopher Bishop, Mikey Neal, Johnny Shade all out. Or all 1 lap down, excuse me. But green flag is out. Alex Coffey gets a great jump on the restart, and Stephen Harlow comes along with him as Alex Huffman going to try to fend off Jonathan Cofield. Lights are on the track as we are moving towards the night here. As you see Shane Wyatt. Shane Wyatt has moved up 9 spots from where he started, Chuck. Is there somebody we haven't been talking about that maybe we should? Where's this 27 car coming from?
Well, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, Eddie, is there's a lot of talent in this series, this league. But even the big names of talent they may not have a lot of experience in short track racing or this car, and there may be other guys that do. So, I mean, the car track combo could certainly be an equalizer, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Shane Wyatt, a Xfinity Final Four driver last season, finished second in the points, so he is definitely one to watch out for, especially as this Winter Series moves on. He is definitely a fantastic driver. I enjoyed racing with him, and he's doing a great job tonight, trying to get inside the top 5 after starting well back in the 15th position.
Well,
it's sort of one of those things where there's just really nowhere to go. You're not seeing a whole lot of guys be able to make some passes unless you dodge the bigger X.
Shane's, and I've raced with Shane. Shane's a smart racer. He can be aggressive, but he also has good patience as well. He's a very smart racer, so I certainly would not count Shane out wherever he starts.
Yeah, for sure. He's hanging on to the back of Adam Lancaster. And you just see these guys all over the back bumper of each other. Just nowhere to go. I don't know if as the lights come on, the grip levels increase, you're able to get the power down. It's really tough to get a run on somebody when the track starts to cool off. We'll actually look at the weather here. The track temp, 86 degrees. That is ice cold in the racetrack world. So these guys got plenty of grip, and I think that's going to be tough for racing here as you know, it's tough for the drivers, but it might be fun for us, Chuck, because the only way you can pass somebody might be to move them up out of the groove. But look at this line of cars. I mean, first all the way back to a 9th place single file here. Is Huffman going to get up the track a little bit? It's going to open the door maybe for the 58 machine. Not quite able to do it. You can see just not able to really take advantage of things right now as Coffey has control of the race. And you see nobody can pass. And that's what happens when you get these cold tracks where you got all the grip that you need and everybody's running the same setup. There's just nowhere to go right now.
Well, as we know, as in real life and on sim racing, you know, we're still fairly early in the race. We still have a lot of racing to go, but as the laps click down, as we get closer, the patient level is going to, and the aggression, the patience is going to go down and the aggression is going to go up.
Yeah, watching here as Sam Green takes over the spot from Matthew Jorgensen, and now the one machine of Mikey Neal, who is a lap down, goes to the inside, and Christopher Bishop as well. But these are not for position. But Mikey Neal needs to continue to move forward as he is a lap down here right now, and he needs to get that lucky dog if the caution does come out. And Christopher Bishop trying to run him down and take that from him. So those guys have their own race within the race. But everybody, there's really not much battling going on right here other than these two drivers that are kind of working their way through the field who are a lap down. But, I mean, up front, it's still the same thing. Everybody knows to tail. Just not able to really make up any spots here. As you see Parker Bland there on the outside. Going another lap down. That's 3 laps for Parker.
I wonder too if the drivers are seeing a visual change, obviously with the lighting and the temperature of the track, because it's now 87 degrees on track. So I think the drivers are just kind of like internally in their cockpits and their own, you know, driving. I think they're adjusting to the visibility, you know, the lighting changes, as well as the grip of the track with the temperature change.
Yeah, and you're looking on board with Alex Huffman, and we'll try to listen in to the throttle inputs. You can hear just how much speed he's carrying into the corner, driving really deep, and then right back on the throttle. And when the car doesn't, you don't really have to worry about it kicking out off the corner. It's hard to get a run. It's just, you see, they're both right back on the throttle, and they're running the same speed. There's no opportunity for him to make a pass. But we do have a pass going on right here as Eric Schaefer has been on the move through the field. He is our biggest mover in that 4 machine as he has moved up. Look here, Chuck, 10 spots from when he started. He was actually involved in a wreck in one of the, and I think that first one. So Eric Schaefer, man, I'm telling you, he is a great short track racer. and just has had some really terrible luck getting involved in other people's messes, but he is still continuing to push forward, and it won't be too much longer he'll be up there with this this top 6.
I agree, and he's another one that has patience and is methodical, and that might be a part of racecraft, if you will, when it comes to short track racing, is patience and methodical. You don't have to get it on lap 1 or lap 5 or even lap 10. Just methodically, you know, pick your way through the field and just, you know, be patient and get what comes to you, you know. And Eric has always kind of been that guy. He doesn't push you issue or anything. He'll get it if it's there, but patience is a big thing, in my opinion, when it comes to short track racing.
Well, up front, Alex Huffman continues to put pressure on Stephen Harlow. Alex Coffey not been able to get away, but he would love for these guys behind him to get battling. If he can get Huffman to the inside of Harlow and get those two battling side by side, he can really start to pull away from this group. Right now, he is in a mode where if he makes one mistake, you know, he's going to be back in 5th position. But if he can get these guys battling side by side, that might help him out. Now, they'll say Adam Lancaster, I believe. I don't know if he was able to get around Shane. I think so. Or I think Shane's just putting a lot of pressure on him, excuse me. I think Adam's been in 5th for a while, but Shane has been continuing to try to put a little pressure on Adam as Adam starts to come unglued from that top 4.
Here's another mindset scenario, though, Eddie. Coffey might just be managing his, maybe not right now as we speak, but a few laps ago, he might have just been managing his gap. Not burning them tires up. Like, I'm out front, and I'm just going to manage my gap.
Yeah, well, he needs to be careful that he doesn't find himself in a position where he loses this lead, because it can be so difficult to pass that, right now, Harlow is putting the pressure on him. And I don't know if maybe Harlow's been kind of saving. It feels like now at lap 60 it's time for him to go. But Harlow has been really, really pushing here. He's going to have some lap traffic to deal with. Parker Bland goes another lap down. Now that's 4 laps down for Parker. Involved in one of those incidents, got a lot of damage to that 3 machine. But man, it's been real tough. But look here, got Schaefer. Uh-oh, Shane White actually blinks out. Oh, and caution comes out.
Well, yeah, Parker just came on the net because I'm hearing their comms. Parker blew his motor.
Parker Bland out of this thing as the motor finally gives away and was kind of stuck on the track. We'll see here what happened. You can see the motor blows right there. Parker not able to get down off the track at the moment because there's cars coming. He's going so slow that, just not really sure what he can do there as cars are just constantly coming through. So race control throws the caution as he's going to have to stop on the track. I think that was the right call. We got guys coming down pit road, though. So pit road wide open. Tony Kivitt going to stay out, but everybody else comes down pit road. They're going to get that set of tires, especially since it's halfway. Alex Coffey still sitting on pit road. Looks like Stephen Harlow took 2 tires. You got a couple drivers taking 2 tires. Sam Green, Charles Stevens Jr. taking 2 tires. So, ooh, Chuck, some strategy going on right now. And I think that's going to change how this race is going to play out, as now Alex Coffey is back in the 6th position, but Tony Kivitt is going to be your leader. Now, Kyle Benson goes down pit road. Kyle was probably going to be Tony's best friend for a while, as he was going to be able to be side by side, but now he's got 2 tires of Stephen Harlow right behind him. And I know it probably burns Mikey Neal up, who's gotten up, with everybody pitting there. He was if everybody pits, he was going to get the waiver round, but unfortunately, with Tony Kivet staying out, that's going to keep Mikey Neal a lap down. So definitely probably a little bit frustrating. He may get the lucky dog, but no, it looks like he's not getting it. He's going to go to the back. So Chuck, going to change a lot of things here as there has been a shuffling, some tire strategy here with people taking this set of tires. Tony Kivet going to stay out on 38-lap old tires. But track position has been king. But we'll see how big a difference those tires are going to be. But we got Stephen Harlow, Sam Green, Charles Stevens on 2 tires. And then Alex Coffey is the first 4-tire driver back in the 5th position. So we're about to see some tire strategy make a difference. And that's where having that one extra set can make these races exciting. And I think that's a good idea. I know that a lot of people, short track guys, love to see that one set of tires, so you have to manage the whole race, but I like to see, for our sake, some drama, and that's what we got right here with these tire sets.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the drama. This has been a great race. I like the 2-tire strategy
Pace
myself.
car pulling off here. Chuck going to go back green. Tony Kivet, he's going to be able to get away. He does. He gets a pretty good jump as Stephen Harlow right on the back bumper. And they're going to go all over the place trying to get, and you look at Alex Coffey, he's thinking about making it 3 wide with those 4 tires that go down into turn 3 and 4. Coming off of the corner, Stephen Harlow, Sam Green side by side. Tony Kivet gets into the wall a little bit, so Stephen Harlow going to go to the outside, trying to make that outside work. Oh, the 91 of Sam Green comes across his nose, and it goes into the wall, and man, Sam just did a whirly bird off the wall as they make contact there, racing for that 2nd position, and caution's going to come out. What a violent wreck that was.
That was crazy. Short track or not, that was a crazy wreck.
Yeah, we'll go back and see here on the replay exactly what happened. See Sam Green, they're on these 2 tires trying to make it work, and yeah, I think that's a racing incident. Man, I tell you, Stephen Harlow had himself a ride as well. We'll go on board. Go on board with Sam Green as he goes right out to this little gate right here. Move. A lot of contact. Stephen Harlow as well. See, I can't say it's anybody's fault. It's a racing incident. They make contact. You see the 58 of Jonathan Cofield involved in that as well. He's way back here when all that was going down. And you're right, you talked about it. There's just nowhere to go here. The track is just so narrow. Golly, look at that.
Yeah, Jonathan had nowhere to go. It just opened up, or not opened up, it just happened in front of him.
Yeah, let's slow this down so you can see how terrifying this would be in real life. Watch as the 5 gets lifted up and just comes flying across the track right into the 4 of Eric Schaefer and gonna land right on top of Jonathan Cofield. Golly. Oh my gosh, if you got kids watching, turn them away.
Yeah, right.
This is not for all audiences. Good grief.
The wrecks we've seen tonight for this car and track model, there's been some crazy wrecks.
Watch it from another angle, Stephen Harlow. So a wild wreck there. I mean, that got a lot of cars. You see Stephen Harlow, you see the 14 who has been a lap down, the 23 of Johnny Shade, which has had just a frustrating night for that 23 machine. But we're getting ready to go green here, doubled up, coming through 3 and 4. The pace car going to pull off 75 laps out of 125. We're getting down towards the end. Tony Kivitt still out there on those old tires, but Alex Coffey able to get up to second with those 4 tires. We'll see if Tony can do anything with that 11 machine, as the 17 was really trying to keep pressure on Alex going down to the corner, but not quite able to do it. Now he's going to set his sights on that 7 machine. How big a difference is 4 tires going to be
Got
here?
3 wide in the back. 3 wide in the back, Eddie.
Yeah, we're watching this battle to see if Alex Coffey can get around the 7 with those new tires. Want to see this battle for the lead. And so far, oh, it's Tony's going to get loose. Oh, that's not what you want to do. There's no way you're going to hold him off there. As he gets loose, he was doing such a good job up until that point, and I think that is going to be tough to deal with. 4 tires. He's going to drive it down to the corner, but Alex does a great job on entry. Tony tries to gas it up off the corner, gets a little bit wide there, as Alex Coffey going to retake the lead after just a few laps. Oh, and Adam Lancaster going to get into the back end of the 7 of Tony Kivitt, and here we go again. Another massive wreck as they're just piling in Blues Brothers style again, and I can't see who that is.
Yep.
The 49, the 49 of Jason Hastings was sitting up on some car, and just another one of those deals. We see this short track racing constantly as he gets turned by Adam Lancaster. Chuck, we're starting to see that aggression come out, aren't we?
Yep, that's what I was saying earlier, my friend, that, you know, good racing, a lot of give and take, but any track, anywhere, any car, any track, you know, it amps up as we get closer, but especially on short track racing, like the patience and the give and take and all the courtesy goes out the window every lap.
We're sitting here watching as the 70 was sitting on the track, and you're going to see Dustin Applin make a little bit of contact, get turned around, and you can see just nowhere to go for some of these guys. Jonathan Cofield comes in at the last minute and makes contact with these guys. Man, I tell you, so frustrating. We'll watch here. Oh, I'm not even showing y'all the dang replay. What the heck? We just been sitting out there and looking. Watching from Jonathan Cofield's point of view, and man, just nowhere to go. Runs up under the back bumper of him. Just we've had a lot of track blocking wrecks here.
Absolutely, and Cofield specifically, as far as replays that you've presented, that's 2 in a row, caution-wise, that Cofield, no fault of his as far as skill or driving. He just, it just happened in front of him. Nowhere to go at all. 2 in a row.
Yeah, that makes for a frustrating night when you get behind the 8 ball. You know, I would think, you know, somebody like Johnny Shade was kind of in that position so far. Just didn't have a great qualifying effort and was sort of behind the 8 ball. And when you get back there, you know, it's just it's a different animal. You hear NASCAR drivers talk about how different the racing is from 15th on back. It's just it's almost like a different race going on back there. And you got some guys who had some trouble trying to work their way through the field, all kinds of different strategies and stuff going on, and man, sometimes it's just a recipe for disaster. But getting ready to go green here, 84 out of 125. We're getting down towards the end of this thing. Let's crank it up, Chuck. What do you say?
Do it. Crank it.
Battle for the second position as Shane White's going to get loose off the top side and more contact as he goes flying up in the air. And as soon as we get off to crank it up, Shane Wyatt goes around the 27. Big damage to that 27 machine.
Well, now that Acosta's out, I don't want to jinx him, but right just prior to that, I think he got a little bit of it. I think he got a little loose and hit the wall, but we were talking about Matt Jorgensen. He was up to P8 on that. Right before that, I was just getting ready to say something about Matt Jorgie being up there P8. I think he got a little bit of wall on that, but oh my gosh,
Take a look at the replay here, Chuck.
It's crazy.
On board with Shane White, and you're going to see he's trying to battle for that second position and really trying to make that top side work, and he gets on the gas, just pushing that throttle down as hard as he can to try to maintain position on the 17, and that 27 just goes around, and unfortunately for I think that's the 13, just nowhere to go, and he's going to get right hooked into the wall. That's Craig Lautenschlager. And then the 14, golly, I tell you what, Christopher Bishop has really just had a night to forget. On board with Christopher Bishop, we'll watch full speed as he's going to get clipped by this wreck here. Tries to miss it, comes down the track and just gets clobbered there.
Oh, something else I'll point out, Eddie, is the track temps have been up and down. So we spoke earlier that it went up to 87, 88. It is now back down to 84. So I don't know if the grip level is changing and if guys are having trouble adjusting to the track temps, and or if they are manipulating their brake bias in cockpit to compensate for it and I'm missing it. That could potentially be an aspect as far as adjustment with the track temp.
Yeah, it could be a couple different things, but as the grip level of the track goes up, the car gets tighter, just does not want to rotate as it did before. So, what I think happened there was, Shane was just on the top side, and that car just did not want to rotate from the middle off, and he was just trying to power it off the corner to try to maintain that position. And when you do that, there's just a certain point where that tire is going to lose grip, and I think that's what happened there. Now, let's look up front. We got some big names, Alex Coffey, Adam Lancaster. We look at Eric Schaefer there in the 4th position. Mikey Neal has gotten himself up into the top 5. So, man, we've got some drivers we've been talking about, Chuck, that might be a player towards the end of this thing. Here they are when it's check cashing time. They're up here at the front.
Charlie Stevens up there in the top 5.
Yeah,
he's in that window. He was involved in a little skirmish earlier, and Charlie Stevens top 5, wrapping that bottom.
Yeah, I'm excited as Eric Schaefer takes over the 2nd spot. Adam Lancaster now in trouble as here comes Mikey Neal down to the inside. He's going to try to make quick work of him. Adam has had speed up to be up front, but he seems like he doesn't have the race-winning speed. But, man, we're going to see, I think, some heavyweight battling going on here with just a few laps to go. I mean, we just got 30 laps here. What do these guys have for Alex Coffey? And, man, look how much – I mean, Eric Schaefer and Mikey Neal both were a tenth faster than Alex Coffey last time by. They are on the move here, Cho. We're going to have a battle for the lead here for too long.
Oh, absolutely. The ride around, give courtesy, or, play safe, that's out the window for sure. Everybody going for it now.
Yeah, time running out. If you're going to win this race, now is the time. And we've seen passing be so difficult as, man, Mikey Neal gets right to the back bumper of the 4 machine. They both get a little bit loose. Alex Coffey, big grin on his face as these boys are going to battle it out for the 2nd position. Adam Lancaster looks on from the 4th position. They're side by side. Mikey Neal drives really deep into the corner. Is he going to be able to clear him? Not quite. Alex Coffey continues to drive off. Schaefer going to drive down in the corner. Gives him a little shove in the corner, but Mikey Neal able to hold on to that spot, and now the 1 is up to the 2nd. Now he's going to try to track down the 11. Actually gains a ton of ground through that corner right there. Oh, he's going to get a little loose. He runs wide off of turn 4, but he is still on the hunt. Man, he is right there, Chuck.
Oh, Lancaster, 17.
He's right here, though.
there.
Mikey Neal for the lead. Mikey Neal, what about Mikey Neal for the lead, Chuck? We got a battle for the lead, Chuck. What are we looking back in 4th place for? We're up here at the lead as Mikey Neal is now putting pressure on the guy that's dominated this race. And now, 25 laps, he better get to working on him now, as it might take all 20 laps to get around this. Left machine is on Adam Lancaster. Schaefer, make contact.
That's why I'm looking back at 3 and 4. We got racing at P1 and P2. We had a racing at P3, P4, and now Charlie's moved up a position. We got racing all over the place, Eddie. This is crazy.
Eric Schaefer gonna be fighting hard here, but man, I gotta go up front as I cannot miss a battle for the lead. Mikey Neal really putting the pressure here on the 11. Does he have what it takes as we go look on board with him as he's in the lawn chair? I mean, he's got basically a church metal chair he's sitting in as he's trying to take over the lead. That just shows you don't need a big cockpit to get this thing done, as man, Alex really drives into the corner, pushes up the track, and I think I see Mikey Neal sniffing a little bit. He can smell blood. Kind of feels like he's got the speed to take over the lead, but he's only got just a few laps here to go, 20 laps to go when they cross the line. And man, he is really put. Look at him leaning. He's about to fall out the chair. If you know what, if he gets a little counter steer, he's got the force feedback turned up, Chuck. He's going to fly right out of that chair.
Well, I don't know where you're speaking about the chair because I don't have his camera. If he's literally in a lawn chair, props to him alone.
Yeah, you should be able to see the driver cam on the screen when I show it there, Chuck. But if not, I don't know. Crazier things have happened. But Mikey Neal had gotten right close to the back bumper, but you know, Alex might have. You know, it's hard to say. Alex is pretty slick, man. You talk to him, he don't give you a whole lot. You never really know what he's got up his sleeve, but so far, I mean, he has just been the dominant driver. But here comes Mikey Neal again. Man, he is putting so much pressure. This is as much pressure as this is a great camera angle. Can he get it done? And is he willing to put the bumper to that 11 machine? Chuck, talk a little bit about that idea. Is it too early in the season to put the bumper to somebody?
You're going to ask that on me. I've never been one to do the bumper thing. I know you have to. And there has to be finesse about it. There's pushing somebody and bumping somebody, and then there's dumping somebody. I can't find that groove. So for me, I can't do it because I know I can't do it. Pushing and bumping is one thing, and then dumping is another. But hey, at the end of the day, you want to win, you got to do what you got to do to win.
Yeah, wins are hard to come by, especially in this series. I can tell you there's so many different guys, and as we move through the ranks, we're going from the super lates to the tour mods, and then to the ARCA, the truck series, excuse me, not the ARCA. And then I think we actually might do the ARCA. We'll look at the schedule later, but regardless, you're going to have a whole lot of discipline. So if this is your discipline, you got to get the wins when they come. I mean, you might not have another chance to get that W. So Mikey Neal, though, man, is really trying. It is just so difficult. Alex is just driving a damn near perfect race here.
Oh, I agree, and I don't know what the right answer is. You asked me my opinion. That's just me. But I don't have the skill to finesse it. I can't bump or push a guy out of the way. I'm either not going to touch him or I'm going to dump him. Well, I don't want to straight up dump somebody. But again, you got to do what you got to do to win a race. You know.
He's not quite close enough right now to really even put a bumper to him without it just being just crazy. So he's got to be a little bit closer. He's got 10 more laps to get there. And honestly, at this point, if you're Mikey Neal, you're just trying to put the pressure and force him into a mistake. You just want him to slip up just a little bit off the corner, and that way you can capitalize. So you're just hoping that the pressure gets to Alex Coffey and he slips up. But so far, Alex has been pretty much rock steady. And I just don't think Mikey at the moment is even close enough to make, a bump and run if he decided he was going to do that. So he's got to get a little bit closer. You see there's about, just about half a car length between them. He's got to be right there on the bumper to be able to make that move. He can try to drive down the corner and get him in the middle, but, still at this distance, it's going to be tough to make that happen.
Well, there's also driver discipline for the leader, too. You got to hit your mark visually and or brake throttle. You got to hit your mark. You can't drive out of your mirror. You just have to hit your marks and go. If you start looking in that mirror, you're gonna miss a mark.
Is he gonna get a little bit out of the groove? Oh, Alex Coffey gets loose. There's that mistake that I was talking about. Alex Coffey makes the mistake off the corner as Mikey Neal able to jump up and avoid him. And that is exactly what I was talking about. He was just waiting patiently for Alex to make that mistake, and he did. So now Mikey Neal with 5 laps to go will take over the lead from Alex Coffey. Man, what a great race this is going to be. We'll try to show you that again from the in the picture-in-picture down here. We'll watch that from a different angle so you can see what happened there. And you're going to see right here, Mikey Neal right to the back bumper. Oh, there's a car in the track. Chuck, we missed it.
No, I was going to say, I didn't want to interrupt you, that the leader had to avoid a lap car or a slower car.
That was Dusty Applin in the 69 machine. Yeah, and he had to avoid it. So I thought Alex made a mistake, but no, you're right. There was a car in the track. Here, look at it right here. As Dusty was trying to get oh my goodness, and he Alta fours out just at the right moment as Alex almost makes contact. And man, that is a bummer for Alex Coffey. 3 laps to go, coming to 2. And just a big development there.
And I'll give Alex credit for wreck avoidance there. That could have been way worse than it was.
Well, credit Dusty Applin for actually Alt F4, and so it didn't make contact. He was definitely going to hit him. There was no way Alex was going to avoid that, but Dusty was able to Alt F4 out and disappear, and so that was good. But here we go. White flag is out. Turn 3 and 4. Last opportunity, and he's going to turn him. He turns him on the last corner. Alex Coffey, and he's going to let him win. And Adam Lancaster comes in at the last second. And Mikey Neal is going to take the win as Alex Coffey did turn him but backed off in a great show of sportsmanship. Lets Mikey Neal take the position back, and he is going to win the race. Holy cow. Let's watch that again, Chuck. What do you say? On this last lap, we'll watch as Mikey Neal had it covered, but off the corner. We talked about it. Coffey had another opportunity right here, and he's going to put the bumper to him, maybe just trying to move him, and he spins out, and you see the 11 going to slow down and let the 1 get that position back as the 17 crosses the line in second. Wow. Yeah,
I'm speechless. And absolutely, I completely agree with you on the sportsmanship. 100% mad respect for the sportsmanship there. Congratulations to Mikey Neal for the win, but
look at that right there, wow. Chuck, look at that. I mean, Adam Lancaster almost got gifted a win there. As we're watching the replay, Alex was going to let him back through, and look at Adam just full throttling. You could see him slow and just did a Hail Mary trying to take that win. Just barely missed it. He was 3/100ths of a second behind. Holy cow.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy. Wow.
Watch them as they cross the line here. Yo. That is awesome. Well, what a great race here tonight. You can see right here, boom, Adam Lancaster just throwing it in there, hoping to steal one away, but he does get second position. But Mikey Neal is your winner here tonight here at Five Flags. Well, all right. Well, Chuck, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to we'll be right back, and we'll get into interviews and see what these guys thought about that race and we'll give us some time to calm down. We'll get back in it. We'll be right back with the results and your top 3 in just a few moments.
Let's meet the supply chain technology lineup. Coil machines, a powerful combination of access, control, and traceability. Sensor devices, take what you need, the device reports who, what, and how much. Multi-use lockers, vend bulk items, manage assets, and pick up orders. And electronic bins, avoid stockouts with 24/7 inventory monitoring. The key to the game, a local blue team to keep your supply chain moving full speed ahead. Fastenal, where industry meets innovation.
All right, and we're back as we're getting ready for post-race interviews, and we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to bring Alex Coffey into the booth. Alex, this is Eddie and Chuck in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, man, you had a fantastic race, and, in racing, things happen. You were in a good position to take home your second win in a row, and that lap car spun out and come back down the track and all tail forward, so you didn't make contact, but that caused you to lose the lead. And then there, I mean, what were you trying to do? What was your focus? You were trying to run down Mikey. Y'all make a little contact, and, man, with a great show of sportsmanship, slowed down to let him have that back. But, yeah, talk about your race, man. I mean, you had a good run. You came down pit road, got some tires, kind of put you in some track, position issues. But talk a little bit about your race, how it went, and there at the end with Mikey.
Yeah, just felt like I had it in the bag there, but yeah. Lap car did pull out. We did make a little contact, but Mikey was quick. I was struggling to hold him off there. Had a little in the tank for the last few in case I needed to put up a battle, but yeah, I didn't mean to get into him. It sucks with a short track car like this. You can't even touch bumpers. But yeah, I didn't mean to wreck him, so let him have it back.
Well, I mean, you still had a pretty dominant car, and I know it's disappointing to come home in third, but you still got to feel good about the way you've run these first two races. And as we go into tour mods, how do you feel about racing the tour mods versus something with fenders on it? Do you still feel as confident in those cars as you do as these?
I definitely don't run them too often. I know they're a little more of a handful than these, so we'll see. I know I'm only be here for one of the tour mod races, so yeah, we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to next week these two. But yeah, stuff happens. You can't get mad at it. It's stuff like that. It's just part of it.
Well, man, I mean, I know you disappointed. Third place is not what you wanted, and but third place still pretty good in a field this strong. So, man, congratulations on 2 top 3s in a row. Definitely putting yourself above the rest here in these late models. So, as always, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout-outs?
Shout out to CNC Esports, Johnny Shade. Shout out to my mom for watching. Happy birthday to Eddie, broadcaster. And shout out to y'all for broadcasting.
Well, we definitely appreciate that and appreciate the birthday wishes, man. Looking forward to seeing if you can get back in victory lane next week. But still, congratulations on third place, Alex.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, you could tell, I mean, he's pretty even keeled. Doesn't seem that disappointed, but you could tell there's a hint of disappointment in there, Chuck. And, you got the win in the bag, and to lose it that way is pretty disappointing. But I think, Chuck, you're caught up with Adam Lancaster, your second place finisher.
Hey, Adam, Chuck, and Eddie up in the booth. How you doing, sir?
Doing well, doing well. First things first, happy birthday, Eddie.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank y'all very much. Go ahead, Chuck.
Well, okay. Second, real quick, me as a fellow broadcaster, I did not know it was your birthday. Happy birthday, Eddie. Did not know that, but thank you. But Adam, taking you through the race, that was crazy. You were there up all night and this, that. What went through your head with that crazy last lap with the lap car? I mean, it happened so fast, even from broadcasted. You and Alex were just you were going at it, and you ran so well all night, and then it just happen so fast. There was nothing you could do. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was an up and down night for me, and I really just, it's my first time with this group of guys, and trying to race hard, but trying to race clean and learn how everybody, races and drives. And a couple of times a night, I stuck my nose in a hole that, kind of expecting people to kind of give you the benefit of the doubt, and the guys run you hard and run you tight, and so we had some contact tonight that I really didn't want to happen. But that deal there at the end, I honestly didn't even know what was going on. I was watching, I had, I don't even know who it was closing in on me there for position there in the closing laps. And I was in the mirror and was just trying to make lap time. Wasn't really, I had kind of wrote off any opportunity to reach the two guys up front. And, we came through 3 and 4 there, and it looked like they were just parked. And I cracked the throttle for a second. And then I was like, you know what? This is the last lap. We're coming to finish. Well, I just put her back on the floorboard and hope for the best to try to kind of like a speedway, coming to the finish at a speedway race. You just try to find a hole and keep it on the floorboard and see what happens.
Well, all right. I mean, sometimes you got to do like gut instinct, like reflex. You just got to, drive through the smoke, per se, the proverbial drive through the smoke and see what happens. And you did it. So well done. Great podium finish. Do you have any shout outs or sponsors or anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to thank Fastenal for sponsoring this winter series, and all the guys with MPI for having me. We have Lancaster transmissions on the car. I want to thank them. Autism awareness and Aiden's journey is near and dear to me. Aiden's journey is a story of my son who battles autism, and so I invite anybody who cares to go to a day in the life of Aiden on Facebook and check out his page. I like that page. I also want to thank Kinder Performance Group, Ghostface Brewing, Rims One, and Alex Huffman Designs for an awesome paint scheme.
Well, all right. Well, there you have it. Your second place finisher, Adam Lancaster. And we need to talk to the man of the hour and your winner here tonight, Mikey Neal. We got him in the booth. Mikey, this is Eddie and Chuck in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How are y'all tonight?
Man, doing great, man. You had a wild heat race, wild race overall. I don't want to talk about the end just yet. I want to talk about the beginning of the race for you. Yeah, I think you were caught up in a couple incidents. I think you ended up a lap down at one point. Talk about where you were early, what happened, and what was your mindset as you were trying to fight back from those early incidents?
Yeah, last week we were pretty fast. Kind of made up. Like in that fourth position, wrecked out early. So I definitely want to do a lot better this week. Maybe give a little bit more space. So that was just kind of my game plan going in. I did a lot better this week in qualifying. I was able to, I think, qualify 6th tonight. So it was looking pretty good early. We had a caution come out, made my way up to 5th. And then unfortunately, there was a stack up on the bottom. And I had nowhere to go. And the car behind me, not their fault, just kind of got underneath me. I was facing my front end was facing the pavement, so it wasn't that good. And but luckily didn't hit anything or get hit too much, so there was no suspension damage. Nothing with toe links or anything, so we were still pretty good. But the only problem is that these cars don't turn very well. So I kind of got stuck on the backstretch and really couldn't turn around. So I ended up going a lap down. And yeah, from there was a fight on. We were in 16th. I didn't get the first lucky dog I was supposed to, but I was like, man, we just don't have any lucky dogs in here. But luckily, we kind of caught that mistake, and I was able to get another one. So I was a little bit back in the pack. But I mean, even a lap down, I was able to make my way up to like 9th. So I felt pretty good. So I put some fresh Hoosier tires on the car about laps 80 or so once I got back on the lead lap. And luckily, I started 8th, which was pretty good for me, considering that I was like 16th like 5 laps ago. And from then on, it was just a fight to the finish, fight to get up front. And we were able to get there. I mean, we had a really fast Camaro out there, and luckily we were able to pull off the win.
Well, want to talk about that last, the last few laps. So, I was talking about in the broadcast. I mean, it seemed like it was very tough to pass, especially when you're as equal as maybe you and Alex were. And it seemed like the best you could do was just be about half a car length and wait for a mistake to happen and just wait for that opportunity to open up. And it did. I mean, you had a lap car get loose and spin out and then come back down the track, and Alex Coffey had to avoid it. That opened the door for you to get around him. When that happened, what were your thoughts? And then what changed as far as how you were driving now that you were out in the lead, now playing defense?
Yeah, basically going on to that, I mean, I got up to Alex and he was really fast. I mean, no matter any circumstances, he actually helped me out, I believe, Monday night. So big thanks to Alex, man. Coffey is a really good guy. I just met him recently, on or through this league, and he's already been a big help to me. So really, thanks to him. We were out there battling pretty good. He would make a little bit of a mistake. I'd make a little bit of a mistake. It was awesome racing, and I know I really couldn't do too much behind him, but I was a little bit better in 3 and 4. He was a little bit better in 1 and 2. So we just kind of had a trade off between there. And I was just hoping I'd get close enough to him to force him into a mistake. And he ran almost perfect. And, there's really not much I could do. Basically going up on that, all I could see is his car when I'm behind him. But I caught a glimpse of that car who was in the middle of the track, and he was going down the track. So I turned right, and I thought Alex was done for. But he somehow missed that wreck, which good props to him. Good heads up. I don't know how he missed it. I'd have to go back and watch it on the broadcast, but he had got in the grass, but I was up on the pavement still. So I was able to keep a little bit of momentum, and that's when I got around him. So unfortunate circumstance, you hate to pass like that. I thought I really wanted to find a way around him, make it fun. But nevertheless, after that, the car definitely got a little bit more tight. I don't know if it got a little more tight or what, but it felt more tight out front. So, he was able to run me back down. So it almost felt better in dirty air. But nevertheless, after that, you just got to do your best to hold them off and coming there to the final lap. It's everything. Everyone's just going for as much as they can. He got in the back of me, which is nothing wrong. I mean, these cars just are very, very light when they get hit. Fortunately, it kind of turned me sideways, but Alex just has too much respect, and he let off a little bit because he did not mean to do it. And even if he would have put his foot on the throttle and went all the way, there would have been no hard feelings. That's just hard racing, especially out on these short tracks. So there's not really much you could do. But nevertheless, props to him. I owe him one. He decided to give me a break there and let me go on. And then Adam Lancaster comes out of nowhere, and we have a photo finish. He just kind of drove through the middle, and I was like, oh my goodness, because I didn't even get into third gear early enough. I actually put it in second gear, and I revved up, and I was like, man, I have to shift. And so I actually forgot to shift, and that kind of slowed me down a little bit more. But great finish and a great run there for Adam as well, getting off second and Alex for third. So I mean, again, thanks to them guys. It could have been a lot worse situation, but they did a great job at minimalizing it and having a good finish.
Well, man, congratulations. I mean, you went up there and, some great sportsmanship between you and Alex. I mean, that's awesome. And I think that respect makes a big difference as you move through the season. It could have been gone, one or two ways. You owed him one of, him getting the back of you, spinning you out and taking the win from you. But now you kind of say, I owe him one as he cut you a break, and so that really changes. And that respect is, man, it's everything. You can't buy respect, it's earned. And I think that was a really cool thing. But, man, respect you also earned tonight by taking that win here at Five Flags. And congratulations to you fighting back a lap down, coming back and winning this thing. That's a pretty big statement here. So congratulations to you. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout-outs?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank the MPI series for bringing me on this year, or at least here in the winter series. Hope to make something in the Xfinity series next season if they allow me to come back. But nevertheless, these guys are awesome to hear. I've had great 2 weeks with these guys. It's been so much fun racing. So thanks to all them. Got to thank my sponsor on the car, Alex Huffman Designs. Alex Huffman was able to bring home a P4 tonight, so congratulations to him. But he gives me these beautiful paint schemes. He's staying at my house tomorrow night, so he does a lot for me, and I really can't thank him enough. He actually invited me, really got me into this league. So Alex Huffman is so awesome. Can't thank him enough. Adam Lancaster as well. He's we know each other pretty well, so I mean I'd call each other teammates even though we're not officially teammates. We helped each other throughout the night, and he was able to almost edge me out there at the end, but he ended up coming P2. So good race there for Adam. I got to thank Chris and Jesse. They do a great job every week setting this up, managing it. So thanks to them. We put the Fast and Fastenal tonight, league sponsor. Can't thank them enough. They allow us to be here. So thank you, Fastenal. Simrack Market, Martin Sports, and then y'all for doing the broadcast. We love having you here, Eddie and Chuck, every week. I go back and watch these. It's so awesome to watch these broadcasts. Y'all do a great job. And really quickly, since it's a special day, I'm not gonna lie. I never planned to go on The Voice, but I said I would give one for the team here for Chris and Jesse. So happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to Eddie, happy birthday to you. Good night. Hope everyone enjoyed the race, and can't wait to see you next week.
What a dismount. Hey, but you're not going to dismount that. You're not going to see me have a birthday, and we're not going to talk and not be able to talk about the chair that you're sitting in. I think there's a lot of behind the scenes talk about this. We want to see what you're working with. And look at that. That's your race winning chair right there. All them guys that spent thousands of dollars on your sim rigs. Look at what it takes to win a race. I mean, he's got that thing. The wind blows. He turns his fan on. The legs are coming out from under him. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's skill. Let me interject real quick, Eddie, if I may. He would tell me all night about this guy's chair, this, that. I didn't have the cameras on during the broadcast. I do now. I'm like, what are you talking about? And now I see it. I'm like, oh my God.
Like, no, this is straight up a metal of some sort. It's really uncomfortable. So I'm actually I'm in an apartment in Charlotte. I live back home. I have my Fanatec stuff, VR and all that. But when I travel, I can't bring the entire rig. So I take my G29 out and I race with what I have. And I could tell you that in a racing seat, you're all the way down. Your legs are completely almost flat when you race in a racing sim. Here, my legs are 90 degrees down from the chair. And I could tell you, it's a lot of work. It really hurts your back. And I'm telling you, these short tracks are the worst. Whenever you're at a bigger track, you maybe not have to use the brake as much, and you're not turning as much. But here, you're turning a lot throughout the night, so it's definitely uncomfortable. But it definitely took me a few races to get used to it. Now, since I'm used to it, it's pretty fine. But nevertheless, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you have. I raced with the G29 for 3-4 years. I could tell you, I've beat people like Garrett Maines on this wheel before. So I mean, there's people that you can race with.
Man. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about that. But
I race these because I have a great time doing it, and I want to be able to race. So I think that's kind of the big picture. And like I said, Chris and Jesse bringing me on this season, allowing me to be here. I mean, I can't deny this opportunity, and I want to race. So, I mean, no matter what I have, I'm going to race with it. And even though this chair is going to give me a lot of back pain in 20 years, I'm still going to go on with it.
All right. Well, man, congratulations, Mikey, on the win. And, man, looking forward to seeing what you do next week. And so go celebrate, man, and enjoy it.
Thank you all. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Well, let's get into the race results here as we get ready to finish this thing. And, it's daytime again. Let's look at the results here tonight. We know the top three. Alex Huffman comes home in a 4th position. 5th position, Charles Stevens Jr. Man, what a great job by him. Started in the 10th position. Yeah, comes home in 5th. Eric Schaefer, disappointed, I'm sure, up there running in 2nd. There, makes some contact, falls back to 6th, but still an impressive run by him. 11 spots up to 6th. Timothy Stubblefield finishes in 7th. Craig Lautenschlager comes home in 8th. Jonathan Cofield in 9th. Stephen Harlow in the 10th position. 11th is Kyle Benson. Matthew Jorgensen in the 12th position. 13th, Johnny Shade. 14th, Shane Wyatt. 15th, Dusty Applin. 16th, Tony Kevitt. 17th, Christopher Bishop. And 18th, Jason Hastings. 19th, Sam Green. 20th, Parker Bland. And 21st is Jesse Necula. 6 cautions, 3 lead changes here tonight. And just, man, an incredible race. We're going to talk a little bit about our sponsors real quick before we go. I want to give them all they need. They gave us some reads, so it's hard to get them in during the race. So we're going to do them all right here. But I want to thank Fastenal. So if you're at work, all the lights flicker and go out. You try to move, you bump into something, and you can't really work like this. What's going on? That's how your inventory feels sometimes. So why are you keeping your inventory in the dark? Look at it this way. If you can't answer the questions, what inventory you have on hand, where is it located, and how quickly is it being used, then you need supply chain visibility. Fastenal can help. Their FMI technology lets you monitor inventory, track assets, and control consumables. How do they do it? Well, Fastenal has vending machines, lockers, bins that sense your inventory levels and how product is being used in your business. Each one of those inventory solutions sends this data to the cloud where Fastenal's team can ensure you avoid stockouts while not carrying excess inventory. That's a big deal and saves you on shrinkage for sure. If you're in the dark on what's happening in your supply chain, let Fastenal shine a light on the parts and supplies that keep your business running. Go to fastenal.com and see how they do it. Want to thank MPI, obviously. It's the MPI Xfinity Series, and it's the Fastenal Winter Series. So the MPI is sort of the overall sponsor for the whole league. And, of course, we know MPI, Max Pappas, and their wheels and all the stuff that they have are really incredible. And they've become a renowned leader in steering wheel and safety innovation for elite motorsports teams. MPI produces top-tier products for champions in every discipline of racing imaginable, including sim racing. You can outfit your sim racing experience with an MPI sim chassis, foldable wheel stand, Logitech steering wheel adapter, and 6 different sim steering wheels. MPI continues to channel its expertise into creating cutting-edge steering wheels and products for the entire racing world. Check out MPI at maxpappasinc.com and on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And, of course, SimWrap Marketplace at simwrapmarket.com. When it comes to creating jaw-dropping graphics for your virtual racing machines, look no further than SimWrap Market. Our team of talented designers has come together to provide you with an impressive arsenal of sim racing design resources that will take your virtual racing experience to a whole new level. From pit lane to winner circle, SimWrap Market has you covered with pre-made designs, number sets, patterns, overlays, smart templates that will instantly elevate your racing experience. So whether you're a seasoned painter or you're just getting started, SimWrap Market has everything you need to make your mark on the virtual racetrack. Don't wait. Check out the full spectrum of options available at simwrapmarket.com. SimWrap Market, iRacing paint made easy. And of course, we want to thank Martin Sports for their support, and they're going to be sponsoring some of the races later in the season. So definitely appreciate them as well. Well, Chuck, boy, that was a lot of fun. Always like to have you in the booth. It's so much fun. Any closing thoughts, any closing things in your head that you want to say before we head out of here tonight?
Well, real quick, first and foremost, thank you again, Eddie, for allowing me to be in the booth with you. And again, not knowingly, but happy birthday to you. But as far as the racing goes, it was so exciting. This car and track model racing, short track racing, you know, beating and begging, it was just the racing was good. So much talent in this league. It was, you know, there was drama, and then there was just like people hanging out at like mid-race, and then it amped up again, and then that final laps, it was great. MPI does a great thing. You do a great job. I absolutely enjoyed it. I felt the racing was, for the most part, very respectable. And once again, thanks for having me in the booth. And that's all I'll say. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's check out the schedule before we head out here tonight. We see we're on race number 2. Next week, we're going to North Wilkesboro, which will be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. Then we're going to the Tour Mods Lanier, Thompson, New Hampshire. I mean, just perfect tracks for those tour mods, and they're a little interesting. You got to be careful. Can't be running over people. You'll be jumping over the back bar, but that push bar is called a push bar for a reason, so we'll see some guys be able to use that. Dover, Milwaukee, and Phoenix, and the ARCA car. Man, love that car. Can't wait to see that. Then we got round 4 in the trucks, Michigan, Knoxville, Daytona, sort of a wild card round. So that is a wild one for sure. Michigan and the trucks, unbelievable. Then you got Knoxville Dirt and then Daytona to set the championship round in the Xfinity car in Old Atlanta. What a great call by the admin team over here. I want to thank them, Progar, for putting on a great series, and all the other admins that help out. It definitely shows when the product is this good. All right, well, for Eddie Smith, Chuck Feltz, and VSRN, thank y'all very much. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. It sure does help out a lot. But we will see y'all next week as we head on to round number 3 here in the first round of the Fastenal Winter Series. See y'all later.